Hi, I'm Gavin Glicksman, you're watching Sun Boxing, and today we're here at the Park Lane Hilton to talk to George Groves as he signs for Matchroom Boxing. George, last time we spoke you were preparing for a shot at the vacant European title. You're now a Matchroom boxer. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm boxing this Saturday at Wembley. It's going to be a great show, Darren Barker headlining, and those other great London fighters, on the card. I'm chuffed to be part of Matchroom Boxing, chuffed to be back on Sky Sports, and I think right now I've got some really exciting times ahead. So I need to get back in the gym, get Saturday out of the way, and we'll go from there.
After Saturday you're going to be on the Carl Froch, Mikael Kessler undercard and then headlining yourself in September in London. Could you ask for anything more than that?
No, not right now. The fact that it's a pay-per-view show that we haven't had for quite a while, and it's two super middleweights, my division. In a unification clash is a huge fight. It's a fight that I'm sure will be huge, and the fact that I tie in quite nicely because I'm a super middleweight on the verge of fighting for a world title, fellow Brit, and maybe possible future opponent of one of the winner. That the profiling that I'm going to get from that, and the excitement that I think it will add to the show, you can turn down. And obviously headlining my own show in Wembley on Sky Sports in September would be something that excites me greatly. You look at some of the other Matchroom fighters that have boxed recently. They've boxed on big shows in big arenas and part of exciting cards, and they've always been entertaining nights of boxing, which I hope to be part of.
I know you can't say too much about your departure from Frank Warren, but why did you choose to join Matchroom?
Matchroom right now is the perfect move, as we just said. You can put me out straight away. Eddie Hearn this weekend in London, and then I've got chief support of a pay-per-view show at the O2 Arena. On the other card of a unification clash in the super middleweight division. This is stuff that I couldn't write in a book, in a fictional book, and then I'm going to headline my own show, most likely at London, most likely Wembley in September. So, that is all I wanted. If I said to Adam, now I'm free, I'm a free agent. What's out there? What would be a perfect scenario? This would be it. And Matchroom and Eddie hasn't been greedy. He's committed to me. I can tell that from the conversations we had, from the agreement we've signed, and I'm just really excited, and I feel like I'm in a good place right now.
So come that show in September, do you think you'll be fighting for a world title?
It's possible. I'm #1 contender for the WBO. Arthur Abrams is a champion, and he's being challenged by Robert Stieglitz. That's in 2 weeks' time in Germany. Obviously, I have a close eye on that, and I'd love to have a crack at the winner. That in September, time-wise, is logical. Whether the champion, we can get him over here, I don't know. Maybe we might have to travel for that title, but logically, it could happen. I hope it does. I feel I'm ready to fight these sort of guys. I've already had a training camp where I prepared to fight Robert Stieglitz when he was champion, and that fell through. So I've put some great work in the gym. I've trained constantly since my last fight. I've had some great sparring. I've been out in Vegas and sparred in the Mayweather gym. I've put in some good work, and it's about time I get in the ring and strut my stuff. So if I can keep as busy as possible, then I'm winning. And working with Eddie at Matchroom and with the backing of Sky, I know that's going to happen.
You mentioned Carl Froch. If Eddie comes to you in 18 months, 2 years' time and says, OK, Carl wants to go out, final big domestic dust-up, you'd be up for that one?
Yeah, without a doubt, and I think it probably happened before then. There's always something exciting about two Brits fighting for a world title, and Carl's at the sort of the pinnacle of his career. He's probably only looking at big fights, and if Eddie promotes me correctly, like he says he will, it'll be a big fight against me. So that definitely could be a fight. It's a fight that I'd love to have. I'd love to share the ring with Carl before he hangs up his gloves. Obviously, I've got to get there, and he's got to get through Kessler fight first. So only time will tell. But it's any fight that will capture the public's imagination, that will get the boxing fans excited. Not just I don't just think the British boxing fans. I think world boxing fans will be excited about us two clashing. It'll be a good fight, an entertaining fight, as well as probably me fighting any of the guys in the super middleweight division. I'm fortunate to be in a division where there's so many good fighters and there's so many great fights out there. So only time will tell. But we'll see.
Do you think one of those great fights, I know you get asked about him all the time, but is James DeGale still on the radar?
He's not on my radar right now because I've been a little bit disappointed with his last few performances. But he's on his own path, and no doubt he's working towards winning a world title, like myself. Until one of us has a major title, I don't think it's really worth his while for him or me, to fight. But boxing's a funny old game. You never know what's going to happen, and that fight probably, realistically, is never a million miles away, because nothing can be predictable in boxing, and because he seems to generate such interest amongst general sports fans, not just pure boxing fans. It could happen. So I beat him twice. I'll fight him tomorrow. It doesn't bother me any day of the week. He's a good fighter, but I've got his number. So we'll see how we go.
Is there still the genuinely bad blood between the two of you?
I've probably spoke to him at one or two press conferences since I beat him, and he's still not on my Christmas card list. And I don't think he's changed. I haven't changed. So we're still the same people. We just clash. We don't get along, and it makes for an exciting dynamic. I think it's a fight that people genuinely want to see. It's a fight that people still talk to me about now. So many people came to that show that weren't boxing fans, who hadn't been to any other boxing event, and they've almost ruined it for themselves because they can't go to any more boxing events because it was so good, like the atmosphere and that. So it could happen. The fact that I'm boxing on Sky with Matchroom, I think makes that fight a little bit more possible. But as I say, I'm not thinking about James DeGale at all. I'm concentrating on winning the world title.
Just finally, it's become a bit of a YouTube sensation, the Haymaker Harlem Shake. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, he managed to get his name in it, David Hay, the Haymaker Harlem Shake, only because it had a ring to it. But it was obviously it's a sensation. Many people have tried it. I was very happy with the way it came out. I thought it was very funny, and it just shows a lighter side of boxing. Boxing's so serious at times, and it's nice to show us messing about. David A getting his arse out, and a few of us dressed up. It was good fun, and we hope people enjoyed it.